Good morning and welcome to the EPL Index Transfer Daily Show. It is Tuesday, the 4th of June, and there's quite a few different things going on by the looks of it. Hopefully the transfer window will start to ramp up soon. And it seems to be a focus on departures, ladies and gentlemen, being completely honest. Now, this one just won't go away. Whether you believe it or not, it will happen. Maybe that's a different question. But according to Team Talk, Liverpool and Brazilian goalkeeper Allison has been identified by the Saudi League as one of their targets. Now, this must be going on for a while because Fabrizio Romano always maintained that he's been a target for a while. Said back in, I think about March, April time that they were looking at him seriously. And even Jason Byrne, the Telegraph, has said recently that Al-Nassr are looking at Allison as well. So there seems little reason to disbelieve that, in all honesty. But the question is, will Allison want to make that move? And it's important to say, as a lot of the articles suggested, his main idea is to remain in Europe. According to TalkSport, this one we've been waiting for a while, but Aston Villa are finally set to complete the signing of Ross Barkley from Luton Town, where they will pay a fee of around £5 million. Now, there have been talk that Barkley's contract had expired, but Luton had an option, so looks like they'll get some money at least, as well as their parachute payment for going down. According to various outlets, it's important to say Arsenal are willing to now start cashing in on assets. We talked about Emil Smith-Rowe, and according to the Telegraph yesterday, he was Fulham's top target for the summer. And now quite a few various outlets are saying that Eddie Nketiah will be allowed to leave the club at around £30 million is what it'll take. And there's links with all sorts of clubs like Everton, Wolves, Fulham, Palace, all sorts in the mix there. So that'll be one to keep an eye on. And further departures at the Gunners to raise their money potentially. Football Insider is saying they're open to offers for Zinchenko, the left wing back, if you want to call him that. 27 now, not really in the team much this season. Was he dropped out? So, yeah, what will happen with him? And as much as we're talking about a potential departure, whether you believe it or not, for Allison, an interesting one for Liverpool fans, that this is a name that won't go away. And according to the Mirror, Somerville, the lead winger, the Dutch player, is the target for them, around £30 million. And also, according to Fabrizio Romano, they are looking, as well as Manchester United looking, and it's an old name that may be coming into the mix here, Goncalo Inacio. Sporting Lisbon, 22, can play left back, left-sided centre-back as well, which is what we know Liverpool potentially in the market for. And sticking on the Liverpool theme as well, Football Insider are also saying they are planning to sign a new number 6, that Wataru Endo was always seen as a stopgap option, and now they will look to press ahead with that move. So that will be interesting to see. One Bellingham, not the one we all know, not the one who played for England last night, but another one is the talk of the transfer markets. For his younger brother Job, only 18, the stories are from The Guardian this morning that Sunderland will resist every overture for the player. And there is quite a lot of overtures by the sounds of it from Spurs, Brentford and Crystal Palace. So that's 3 Premier League teams alone mentioned for Job Bellingham. So that will be an interesting one to see what happens with his future over this summer. I mean, Real Madrid were an interesting one. Signed 2 players, or got 2 players renewed, you could say yesterday. Kylian Mbappe, funnily enough, in case anyone missed it, is now a Real Madrid player on a free, isn't he? But also, they've decided, according to The Athletic, to renew the subscription or renew the contract of Joselu, 34, the guy who scored the goal in the semi-final, the former Stoke player. Looks like he may be happy with that sort of final backup role, as it were, in the last years of his career. And who could blame him, in all honesty? Bit of a Dortmund theme, but it links to the Premier League, it links to Chelsea, it links to Manchester United. Very much saying that, an interesting one from the Mail, they do not, contrary to belief, have any first option on Ian Maatsen. Now, he obviously had a bit of a nightmare in the final, but he's been sensational for them, hasn't he? The Chelsea left back, left wing back. Obviously had that great season at Burnley. Went to Dortmund's been absolutely sensational in the Bundesliga, as a lot of people have called the best left back there. But there is a release clause of £35 million and there is no option for Dortmund. So we'll be interested to see if anyone, especially with that 30th of June deadline coming, you think a lot of clubs could well fancy Ian Maatsen and what he could bring. And speaking of Sancho, according to the Daily Star, and now this is one we talked about, that the finances for Maatsen and Sancho are going to be difficult, but it's interesting there's now a few stories that Maatsen may not go there. Now, according to the Daily Star, Jadon Sancho is very determined to make that move permanent, so it will be interesting to see what happens there. Just another interesting one for Team Talk. Spurs, because we've not mentioned them today, look like they could be going back to pay for an academy graduate. So Marcus Edwards, now at Sporting Lisbon, the left-sided player, done very well there. The Spurs may be looking to bring him back to, well, on double the money, almost on more than double the money. Can you imagine they let him go as a starter, doubling his wages, a huge transfer fee, but there you go. And ladies and gents, on Tuesday, the 4th of June, the friendlies have started. The Euros and Coppers aren't that far away. Hopefully the transfers are starting soon, as we say. That was your EPL Index Transfer Daily.